In my previous video, I built these door hinges so I could get my doors to swing. So now finally I can do the top of the window frames, chop them down, so that I can call this roof job finished. Coming up. How's it, jokes, and welcome back. Hey, and a special welcome to the new guys. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, before doing this, obviously the door needs to be closed, sitting in its position, and it needs to be latched up so that we can work out here what we need to do. But I didn't have door latches, or other called door catches. So I came up with some plans while you guys were not here. I built this, I suppose you could call it a striker plate, or do you have a better name for it? So it will now just engage with the original, I don't know what you call this thing, when it closes. Let me show you another angle. I'm talking about this thing. When the door closes, that striker plate of mine locates right there. So it basically doesn't catch, but it does just hold the door and keep it from dropping down and helps to locate it. So I still needed to dream up something to keep the door closed. So I came up with a real basic design here. It's currently in the open position. Door comes in, and there we go. Door can't open anymore. Very basic, very crude, good enough for me. I will probably just still build something here for each to locate on, and then stop it there from going down too far. But it works well enough. So really basic business, piece of plate, bolt welded onto it. This bush goes over that. Got some pieces of flat bar welded onto that. Made the handle from a piece of pipe that I capped and welded on. Drilled some holes into it just to make it look a little bit better. And then here I've got a short length of spring, and with a nut that goes on there like that now, what this does, it just provides a little bit of friction so that the handle will not just swing around by itself, and it will stay where you leave it. So I think when I go to town again, I'll just get a dome nut to put on here to make the whole business look a little bit better. Oh, and I added a small stop there so that it can't swing down too much. But Duffy, how do you open the door from the outside now? It's easy, man, you just stick your hand through here. Told you it was basic shit. Not planning to have any windows, so we don't need no door handle out here to be able to open the door. End of story. Which means I can shave off the door handles I don't have. So I made a small piece of plate that will fit into that hole. I tacked it onto a nail just to give me a means of holding it. So I'm just going to weld that into place like that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to line it up here on this side. That feels pretty good. Let's give it a light tack right there. It doesn't feel bad at all. This feels flush. This side feels good as well. Okay. Okay, my piece of infill plate looks good. I'm gonna weld it up. Okay, so we just got to make it rust so that it can blend in, and then you'll never know. Okay, let's get to the main business on the agenda, which is to add this top part of the window frame in. It's now obviously too long because of the roof chop, so I need to cut off here 3 inches, which is exactly the same as what I dropped the roof in the back here. In the front, same story. I need to cut the piece off here. I dropped the front close to 4 inches, so I need to cut the same amount off there. And then also you can see that this does not match up there, so I need to cut this in half so I can move this piece forward, and then we'll do an infill piece right there. Because I slanted the roof a little bit, this moved forward a little bit, so the gap in here is not quite parallel. It means that this piece needs to move forward a little bit. So this only needs to move forward by less than 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeters if not less. So I'm just going to simply give it a bit of a whack here with a hammer and just bend it ever so slightly. Let's try that. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that seems to have done the trick. So here's a little trick that actually works pretty well to establish those cut lines. Put your top piece in like so. Then mark it here on the door frame. And then you can close the door and reference that mark to the door. And then you know where to cut. It's the whole story, eh? Measure twice, cut once. I transferred the marks onto the door itself, then used a straight edge to scribe the cut lines. I just added some masking tape to make my lines more visible. So I use my little square to mark the lines here on the back side of the door frame. You can see up here it's also square. When I was doing these cuts in that previous video, I also used my square. So I'm going to do the same on the front part of the door frame here, and then I know everything will be sweet. Okay, Duffy, cut it off, boet. Oh, there's a lekker South African word for you. Boet is the same as brother or bro. So if you say lekker boet, it would be the same as saying cool bro. Let's do it. Perfect, that looks great. So now you can see here, with the back end lined up, you can see the front is out of whack, which is why we have to cut this in half so we can move that piece forward. And we want to keep this little off-cut piece because we're going to use that to create this infill that we need once we've cut this frame in half. We can cut this puppy anywhere here in the middle, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's in a straight part. There's a crazy wind blowing out here. I think we might be in for some nasty weather. So to make my life easier, I've made up this little wooden spacer that can fit in there. And then that's going to help me to keep my piece lined up. So I've got the same thickness spacer here, to help me with that gap. Same deal here on the front pillar of this window frame. So now with those wooden spacers helping me, it's easy to get this piece lined up and flush with the post down here. That's the piece I need to fill in. Okay, so I cleaned up my weld seams. I clamped it all together again. Got some flat bar pieces clamped across the joints to keep them lined up in all three spots. So I should actually be able to open the door now. Let's see. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to just stand back and check all my gaps and make sure everything is sweet. And then I think I'm going to tack this thing together. Okay, I just want to make sure that they're nice and flush here. I push it a little bit. That feels good. That's all that's needed for now. I think I'm going to take this off. Feels very good there. Might tack there as well. Same story here. Okay, gave it a light tack right there. I'm going to take this off here. And amazing how much or how well your fingers work for feeling. That's nice and flush. Let's give it a tiny tack here. One in the middle. Oops. Oh. Okay, we'll sort that out later. So it's only tacked on the outside, which means it can still move in and out a little bit. So I can just now make sure that's nice and then give it a tack right there. I think that's good. There's a bit of a gap here, but I'll pull that up. That's not a problem. So I've got it lightly tacked in place. Let's open this door again. Yeah, it's looking nice. Just sighting it down here. That looks good. I'm happy. Let's make this piece. So I've got that off-cut piece of the same profile, and I'm just going to cut it to size to fit into that gap. That is if I clamp it properly. Let's try again, shall we? Okay, I've been fine-tuning this piece for a while now. This should be the final fit. Let's see. Ah, yes, there we go. Let's get a clamp on here. Something like that. It's not a 100% match. You can maybe see here it's a little bit wider than these, but it's good enough. We can make it work. Let's get a tack in place. There we go. You know what? I think that's good enough now. I need to also get one in on this side. Can't take those clamps off yet. That feels good. Bottom line's up. Let's do it. Oops. I'm actually amazed how thin this material is. That'll hold it for now. Okay. Now I can take the clamps off. Yeah. Gotta make sure these guys line up. Whew, getting a bit hot here now. Yeah, the inside is not a perfect match. It's a little bit out of whack, but I think I can sort it out. Better already. I reckon that's good enough. Well, I still have to weld it up, but at least I've got a complete door now, kind of. There we go. I'm just gonna sit here in my thinking chair for a while and take a smoke break. Check it out, man. A set of doors on its way to the junkyard got new life. Isn't that what rat rods should be all about? They can swing. The window frame is dropped to suit my roof chop. They can close in a kind of a backwards rat rod way. Awesome. So this side I've already wiped on some swimming pool acid to my weld joint. It's already starting to rust, so it can actually blend in. And I'm pretty sure once rust has had its chance to work a little bit, it should blend in so nicely that you will not even be able to see where it was joined. You can see up here, I've also started doing it to the shiny metal on my new custom bonnet. Or wood, as my friends in the States would like to say. I think I've done well for the day. You know, back in my prime, I thought nothing of 16-hour days, but I'm afraid those times are over. So before I go, how about a quick language lesson? In Afrikaans, my mother tongue, brother is boet. So a very common Afrikaans saying would be lekker boet, which is exactly the same as cool bro. So there you have it, lekker boet. Thanks for spending time with me. I enjoyed your company. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a lekker one.